Well, good morning again. It's April 1st, 2020, and this is the third segment in Data Analytic Tools from Chapter 9 of your textbook. And today, what we're going to be looking at is going to be the Power Pivot. Now, Power Pivot does not come automatically loaded in Excel. Right here you can see where I have Power Pivot. I had to install that. It's fairly easy to install. If you click on File, computer's a little slow today. Okay, and we can go to down here to Options, and Add-ins. Very slow today. Not responding. Let's go ahead and we'll just restart it. And sometimes if there's too many things running in the background, it causes some conflicts. But this happens. I actually had some issues last night when I was working, and now back up and running. I think there's just so much traffic online when you're working with some of these applications that are online. Bandwidth issues are cropping up, so we just have to be patient with it. Okay, so we just opened our file back up. Let's go back to states. Alright, so click on File. Select Options. Select Edits. Okay, and so here you can see what my active applications are. So I've put in the Analysis Tool pack. I've also added Streamer, Map, here's Power Pivot, and Power View. So you need to go in here and select this, and you can see Manage Excel Add-ins. You can there's different options for what you can look at to install, but this is the place where you would go to. Yours, if you haven't previously installed the Power Pivot, it will show up as a inactive application, and you can go ahead and add it. So you could click on something and go ahead and add it if you wanted to. I'm not going to do this right now, but this is where you go to add Power Pivot. So I already have it. So one of the things I'm going to go ahead and do right now, before we work with this is very slow. Bear with me here. I'm going to click on divisions. We can do the same thing here. We can go ahead and convert this to a table. I'm going to name this one divisions. Not very original, that's okay. And I'm going to click on regions. Come up here and click in box, insert, table. And click OK. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to name this regions. Again, you want to click save from time to time to save your work. The computer is very slow today. I'm going to go back to the States tab. Go back to States. Okay. Alright, so click on Power Pivot and click on Add to Data Model. Remember, we had that option earlier when we were creating the earlier pivot tables to add to a data model. That's what this was referring to. Again, we're kind of slow here for some reason. Okay, so it's now added. We've got some options here in terms of once this thing finishes what it's doing, we'll have some options of what to look, how to look at this. And so here you have data view, diagram view. And so I'm going to click on diagram view. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. Notice this looks very familiar. This looks a lot like what you would see in Access. Of course, there's no bottom area here. This is just kind of the view of the tables. So we've added just that one. We can go back here, and I'm going to select divisions and add that to our model. Okay, so now we've got two tables in our model. Again, similar to Access, you can create relationships. So you can drag from division over to division number. And it creates a relationship between, in this case, it's not as neat in terms of its appearance, but you can know that you've linked division to division number. And so now we've got the ability to perform some data analytics using this particular feature. I'm going to come back to data view. I'm going to go to the end here. So notice you can add a column. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a column. And I'm going to enter in a formula. Equals, open parentheses, and we're going to change this up a little bit in terms of the syntax. We're going to use a bracket. Notice it automatically pulls up the fields. So I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to do minus bracket. It's going to pull back up. I'm going to put in 2010. I'm going to close the parentheses. We're going to divide by open bracket 2010. And so now we've got a formula that we've inserted into that final column. And click the OK, the check mark. And it's now added a calculated column with our data. Okay? So, what are we able to do with this? Well, there's a lot of things that we can do with it. I click on design. Notice here you can create relationships and manage relationships. You know, we just did it inside the view, but you can actually go and take care of that here. There's some advanced properties which we're not going to get into here. It allows you to do different things, but you can still have the sort functions, auto sum functions. There's charting. But what we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at pivot tables, and we're going to look at a chart and table. We're going to use this vertical format, top and bottom. And we want to put it in a new worksheet. Okay. Now right now it's selected into the chart area. You can come down here and we can click and put ourselves in the table area if we want to. Notice here all the tables we created are listed as part of the pivot here. And so what we're able to do then is say we want to look at states, and we want to look for our calculated column. We can pull that down here. It's going to add that. We want to change the settings on this to average. And show it as a percentage, 2 decimal places. Okay, now this is just the average. We don't have anything else in here. So what I want to do is I want to go take a look at what else I would like to pull in. And so maybe we want to look at this by division name. And so now you can see that we clicked and it went down to rows, it added to rows, and we can see that we've got this set up here. Okay, so it's pretty cool. You've also got this chart area up here that you can work with, and so you can do something similar here. So click on states. Take our calculated field and bring it down to values. Again, click field, average. You can do our number format as a percentage if you'd like. Okay. And then we'll go up and select by division name. And now you've got a chart that matches the data down here. Okay, so if you select this, you can go in. Let's look at the East, North, Central. Okay, so we can take a look there, and so you can change what the data is that you're looking at. Select all. The other thing you're able to do here is click into the chart area and do the same thing. Click East Central. And it just shows you that one. Or you can select multiple ones. So say we wanted to look at the two Eastern. And so we can compare just individual ones. So you've got a number of different ways that you can use this tool. Again, the advantage of this is that it allows you to take different worksheets within Excel and create them as tables and use them similar to the way you would use Access. It's a little bit more cumbersome as far as the setup is concerned. I think once you get data into Access from Excel, it's actually a little bit easier to work with in Access. But for those people that are really comfortable with Excel, this is a great tool to use. So at any rate, we're at about just over 17 minutes here, so this has gone a little long because we had some technical difficulties, but we muddled on through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut this recording off, and I'll come back with one final recording for Chapter 9, where we're going to look at a specific application. It's called Tableau, and it is an analytic and visualization software that is very popular. Another one that's very similar to it that's actually produced by Microsoft is called Power BI, and I'll create a video recording where I'll show you how you can use that and kind of compare it to Tableau.